Hello, fellas and ladies, and now we'll do the big one now. So got TIFF reviews, got only a little bit more, and then I'm done. If you like what I say with my mouth and my words, go to bitesizebreakdown.com. I review everything I see on there, even some stuff I don't review on this channel. And I got all the TIFF stuff there. I have a whole article. I review 50 movies. 50! Think about that. Go on there. Give them a read. Now, I'll be reviewing now probably the biggest movie of the festival season, probably the most buzzed about at least, The Brutalist. Co-written and directed by Brady Corbett, it follows a Hungarian Holocaust survivor who immigrates to America to live out, quote-unquote, the American dream. And being an architect, he finds work with a very wealthy client, and the movie spans several decades in this man's life. This is a 3.5 hour epic, shot on, I believe, 70mm print. That's how I saw it, on 70mm print. I've heard conflicting reports on what print it was actually shot on. Has a 15-minute intermission in between. This is a movie clearly harkening back to, epics such as, Lawrence of Arabia, such as The Godfather. And I'm sure you probably heard some reactions to this movie that seem almost hyperbolic, calling it a masterpiece, calling it like just the best movie ever made. And I gotta say, it is not hyperbole. This movie is astonishing. The scope of this movie alone is something to gawk at. This movie costed $10 million. I could not believe it. Every shot of this movie looks astounding with its print. A lot of it's using natural lighting, even if it does, again, look like a new Hollywood movie. Some could argue it's maybe even gimmicky how much it looks like new Hollywood, but I think it is very purposeful, and I'll get into that in a bit. But just from a crap standpoint, I'm at awe. The opening shot of this movie, which is a long tracking shot, I just kind of found myself going like, okay. And then the use of the score right after, I just went like, okay. Movie's overture is breathtaking. The score of this movie is truly astounding. This movie also rests really heavily on the shoulders of Adrien Brody, who gives, in my opinion, the performance of his career. One bad note from this guy and everything would have fallen flat, and he is constantly horrifying and breathtaking to watch. The things he does with his eyes in this movie are terrific. His delivery is tremendous. He constantly blew me away in every single scene he was in. You want to root for the guy, and it's very easy to. Watching his naivete and the tragedy he's constantly being inflicted with, Brody was up to task, and he delivered one hell of a performance. A performance that I'd just be shocked if he did not win the Oscar for, if I'm being frank. I'll get to Oscars in a bit, but I think it's his. Felicity Jones also is quite a firecracker scene stealer. She comes in post-intermission, and from there on, she's constantly very interesting to watch, especially these long take conversations she has with Adrien Brody. It's just a feat of acting. She has her moments to shine, especially, and she impresses every way. I didn't really have an expectation for Felicity Jones. She's just kind of an actress that exists for me, but she's terrific. I also really like Guy Pearce, someone clearly benefiting from the American system. We get to see his almost like Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master-esque confidence. I just like watching this guy engage with everybody. The way he behaved was so interesting to me, and Guy Pearce delivered it phenomenally. I also want to give a quick shout out to Alessandro Nivola. He's not in it a lot, but I liked it when he was in. I like Alessandro Nivola overall, and I'm really hoping for the best for him. Brady Corbett I've been interested in for a little bit. I'm a big fan of Vox Lux as well, and I think he clearly upped his game here. A lot of the movie is like conversation pieces where you're just kind of watching them talk about even just architecture. Like there's a scene with Guy Pearce and Adrien Brody, like in, I guess, his mansion, and they're just talking. They're just having a conversation about architecture, and it's just so fascinating watching, like, their stances in a way. The knowledge one has over the knowledge the other has, and yet the way they present themselves is very different. That sounded moronic, but, like, it makes sense in my head. Brady Corbett just directed the fuck out of this movie. I already mentioned the crafts are terrific, but, like, the use of the camera is genuinely astonishing. At 3.5 hours, the movie breezes by, and granted, you can argue that part of it is because there was an intermission, granted. But, like, at a point, I, like, just looked at my phone just to see the time. I don't go on my phone while watching movies, but every now and then I do want to be like, all right, how long are we into this movie, especially when it's this long? And I was aghast to find out, like, over an hour had already passed. And this is pre-intermission, by the way. The overarching theme of this movie is a vicious takedown of the American dream. This basically saying that the American dream is a lie, that this great expectation will be taken away from you. We watch it in real time. Real time's obviously a lie. We span decades of this man's life, but we watch as it crumbles around him, like how things can easily get taken away from him and how it benefits Guy Pearce's character. Even how, again, I want to bring up Alessandro Nivola real quick. I really was fascinated by how he inherited the American dream in a way. I don't want to get into spoiled territory, but it's a very interesting dichotomy. The third act, I've seen some people give it, like, some crap, even though nobody dislikes it. I will say in the third act, something happens, and it is a bit of a tone shift. I thought it worked, but I can see why some people are a little like, okay, interesting shift. But I do think it kind of benefits what Brady Corbett wants to say about the expectation of the American dream and the reality of it all. How, like, the economy, how the wealthy take the optimism and just basically take it for granted and leave, like, nothing left for people just kind of going to America just to live. The more I sit with The Brutalist, the more I love it. The more I realize some stuff I didn't fully take in because I was just too busy being fucking flabbergasted that I was watching something truly special. Like, it's only a matter of time for The Brutalist is studied and analyzed as an American classic. Brutalist is truly an epic in scale that harkens back to the new Hollywood era in spectacular fashion, but Brady Corbett's craft is on another level while telling a magnificent story on the American dream, anchored by a career performance from Adrien Brody. Believe the hype on this one, folks, and I'm giving The Brutalist 9.5 Adrien Brodys out of 10. As you've all figured out by now, this movie is getting a bunch of Oscar nominations. Picture, director, actor, supporting actor for Guy Pearce, supporting actress for Felicity Jones, original screenplay, cinematography, score, honestly, even production design I would call a lock. From there, I would say editing could easily come along with it. Fucking... Even costumes could come along with it. It'd be a little silly. Same with, like, sound. It would be a little silly, but, like, it's possible. Like I said, I'd be a little flabbergasted if Adrien Brody lost. Like, maybe Sing Sing comes back in such a way that Colman Domingo takes it from him, but, like, I think Adrien Brody's about to win his second Oscar. I don't think people are gonna have an issue with the runtime. I mean, obviously somebody will, but, like, it won't be enough to, like, lessen this movie's impact. Corbett's looking really good for a director win. It makes perfect sense. Score, I think, is just going to win. Cinematography, I don't think it has to beat Dune. I think Dune could beat it, but, like, it's definitely on the table. Everyone's floated the idea of Guy Pearce winning. I definitely agree with the possibility, but I'm not sold on it. Felicity Jones, I actually think is a little more likely to win than people are giving credit for. That said, I didn't fully see a picture win in here. Am I predicting at the moment? I think so, but I feel like that's, like, out of, like, I don't know, circumstance. I don't know if I see a movie that every voter is gonna go gung-ho for, even if they are gonna easily vote it for Adrien Brody and, like, score and, like, director. It's a good package. Like, it has the package no matter what. It's just, will it happen against a little easier movies to digest, like a Nora and Sing Sing? Time will have to tell for me. I haven't fully thought about it. But it's clear to me that this is a double-digit nomination movie waiting to happen. Could even lead the noms depending on how Dune and Emilia Perez performs. But we are in for the long haul for The Brutalist. It is in and it is not going nowhere. That is that. That's The Brutalist review. And I feel like some of y'all were waiting for this one from me. You're welcome. I hope I delivered. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'm just going to go to America. Fuck it. It can only go right.